We're now joined by senior Gleaner Journalist Kimone Francis, who was recently named the Press Association of Jamaica's 2025 Journalist of the Year.
Yes!
She's here to share the stories that shaped her career and what it takes to be recognized as one of Jamaica's top reporters. Kimone!
Hi!
Congrats!
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Sinking yet?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Because it's back to work.
Where did this start for you? What was the fascination with journalism in the first place?
Journalism chose me. I actually studied politics in school and I thought I was going to be a policymaker, you know, changing and making decisions in Jamaica. And when I did my first degree, I went straight back into master's, and then my brother said to me, listen, your mother paying so many things, she handling so many things, time to work. You know, I was just sheltered, growing up not knowing, you know, how money come. And he spoke to someone at the Observer. I started there as a proofreader. And shortly after, my editor said to me, listen, right here is not for you. We're going to move you up. And so I started in the online space.
Wow.
As a web content creator. And then I went over into print as a full-time reporter.
Wow.
And then they said, you know, I'm going to give you a section for you to edit. I didn't like it, but I did it. They challenged me. And then after that, I left and I went to Sleek for a short bit as a news editor, and then over to the Gleaner, where I am now.
Wow. What a journey, Kimone. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced while trying to establish this career? Because what I'm hearing is it's shape-shifting, it's adjusting. What were some of the biggest challenges?
I mean, it's just, as I said, I studied politics, and so there was no form of communication. I didn't know how to write in the news sense. And so what I had to do was to learn from the people who were around me. I had to read a lot of, you know, newspaper. I had to watch the news a lot. I had to read the international websites, AP, AFP, just to see their style and to get into that. So writing in and of itself, I mean, I think I understood English very well coming in, but in terms of a writing style, that was a bit challenging to adjust to. But I mean, I think I got it in the end.
Wow.
I was going to ask you that, how difficult it is with these stories, because people confuse me because I keep telling people I'm not a journalist, I'm a broadcaster, which is different. I don't write stories and I don't go, you know, you guys have to do that. But how difficult is it for you to, because some of these stories that you write,
They're technical.
Yeah, and not only that, but you also have to be careful how you write some of it.
Absolutely.
You know, so how difficult is that?
I mean, it depends on the topic that you're writing. So first to say, we, you know, libel is a serious thing in this profession. So we are trained. We have a lot of libel sessions, libel seminars. Sometimes you don't want to go because you say, oh, I've heard it before. But it's important because laws change.
They can't just write, say, never believe I idiot.
Right, or libel laws are a little different from in the States. So sometimes people will say, oh, you know, journalists, they're not doing anything in media out here. Look, in the US, they're exposing a lot of things. It's a little bit different. In the US, the person you're writing about will have to prove that, you know, they didn't do this. You will have to prove out here that what you're writing, that's how it is. So it's a little different. But as I said, the topic, it depends on what you're writing. Sometimes technical, but you get help from your colleagues. You're not out there by yourself. At the Gleaner, we have a great library where you can just call on your colleagues, email them to just pull up stuff for you from the archive. So technical in some aspects, but you have help.
Just before Daily, ever got yourself in problems in that area? Ever wrote anything and somebody said, well, we have to correct that and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, we're human. We're not perfect. My editor-in-chief has had to apologize. I remember when she just got to the Gleaner, Moya Thomas, she called me into her office after reading a story, and she said, Kimone, explain this story for me. And I didn't think anything was wrong with this story. So I was there talking, and she said to me, do you think you were fair? And I said, yes, because I felt I had got it right. You know, I had connected the dots, and then she showed me where, no, you didn't connect the dots. And, you know, I had to call the person and apologize, and she put out a correction in the paper. But outside of that, I mean, if you're a serious journalist, you are going to face the threats of lawsuit. I mean, if you come and you say, retract, or, you know, I'm going to sue, we hear that every day.
It never happens.
It doesn't scare us.
Yeah. It's interesting because I listened to what you studied about politics because you wanted to make a difference. But I feel like the advocacy that you have in your work for special needs children, for human rights, is fulfilling that passion for you. Do you feel that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm not done. I mean, I feel as though special needs need to become a priority in Jamaica. And so my work will continue to look at that. Winning the award is not necessarily, you know, a stop. Okay, I've achieved or received the Journalist of the Year title. I'm going to stop here. The advocacy continues. My daughter is special needs, so it's a little bit personal for me.
Yeah. What advice would you give to young journalists? And I say that tentatively because there are a lot of young journalists who themselves don't even know that they're going to be journalists, just like you.
Right.
But what advice would you give to them coming into the profession or thinking about coming into the profession?
That integrity matters. My parents used to say to me, integrity is what you do when no one is watching. It's important in our profession, but also human impact. Once you value human impact over access, whether that's political or otherwise, you're good to go. If you're practicing journalism the right way, things will come, negative and positive, but it's for you to filter and keep going.
What kind of stories you like? You like the tough ones that you have to be careful how you write, or you like the little...
Yes, I do actually. I love a challenge. When you hear us in the newsroom, sometimes we're running, we tell our colleagues, listen, pack up, we have the lead. You know?
My thing, this.
Yeah, you can go home.
Come on, you're done.
Yeah, so I love hard news. I believe that's where, you know, you get change. I like, you know, the social justice element as well. And I don't believe any story is too small for me to write.
Yep. Congratulations again. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
God
I
bless
appreciate
you and your
it.
family.
Thank you.
I get what I guess.
So immediate, you know. Senior Gleaner journalist, and not only that, the almost said sports journalist, but Journalist of the Year, Kimone Francis. Second edition of News in 5 when we come back. Stay with us, please. Soon come.